Hey, Michelle, how's it going? Don't lie to me. Tell me how you're really doing.
I'm really doing. I'm a little tired today. Normally Dan gets up a little bit earlier with the kids, and today he kept on saying 10 more minutes, 10 more minutes. And I was like, no, I want to.
The truth comes out. The
truth comes out. So no, so I'm a little tired, but I'm always happy to record. I feel like our recording is kind of a natural cup of coffee.
It really is. It really is. It's the best.
Yeah. So Lindsay, though, have you ever caught someone in a lie?
Oh, politicians. I catch them in lies all the time, Michelle.
Constantly. Yeah.
But someone in my life, maybe a family member or something over something, but usually you can kind of dig in and understand what happened, right? What was going on there. And what were the dynamics?
I mean, I feel like you can catch someone in a fib, which is maybe a smaller kind of lie. But I think that I catch I'm sure I've caught my brother in little fibs about how far away he really is. Oh, I'll be there in 10 minutes. Oh, I'm here. You're not really there, are you?
No, that I don't understand when people kind of lie about like how soon they'll be there, because they're going to eventually end up arriving late. It makes no sense. This is the lie that will always be caught.
Exactly. So guys, today we're going to talk about expressions dealing with the word lie. Okay. And it came from an episode idea that I thought of about, well, it's the first expression that we're really going to teach. So I wanted to do something on that. And then this whole idea about lies came out. So we're going to get into it in a second. But guys, we want to remind you to hit follow wherever you are listening to the All Ears English podcast.
Hit that follow button. And Michelle, we have a poll to share today from Spotify. Remember, guys, you can only participate in these polls if you're listening over in Spotify. So maybe go over to Spotify and check it out. Make your voice heard on the show. What did we ask? What episode was this from? And what did we ask?
This was fun. This was from episode 2435, and it was, "This is an awesome episode. Take our word for it." And Lindsay, what was the question?
Yeah, the question was, how do you feel about long flights? Now, we actually had an interesting, pretty even breakdown.
This is interesting.
Yeah, but I can understand that because everyone sees the world a little differently. Like some people might answer that and say, well, a long flight means I'm going somewhere far away, which is exciting. Right. Other people might just focus on the fact that I'm sitting in a plane seat with possibly an annoying neighbor for 12 hours. Right. So what were the results?
All right. So the options were love them, hate them, or indifferent. So love them was 35% of the people who've answered, and hate them was also 35%. And then indifferent was 29%, or I guess 30%. So pretty even.
Yeah, we have some world travelers in our audience here, and it kind of makes sense. We all see the world differently. We all focus on different things. That's the cool part. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it. So the first one, which inspired this episode, is, do you ever hear people saying, not gonna lie, blah, 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 blah?
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure. All the time. It's just kind of slang. It sounds a little bit younger. Yeah. It's casual. It's trendy right now. It's been trendy for a long time. I think since I was in college or something.
Right. Yeah. That's what again, sometimes when we say something sounds a little younger, is it younger or is it from when we were younger? Because the young people today are saying something totally different.
Yeah, they're probably not saying that. I know that's true. It's what it is. It's stuck around with millennials and Gen X since the 90s. Right. Let's say that much.
Right. Exactly. So people say this. I mean, I wouldn't say this sounds super formal. I think it's very, very, very casual, but pretty common. So somebody might just say something simple like, not gonna lie, these French fries are the best I've ever had.
Yeah, you're just telling the truth, right? Not gonna lie, I skipped the gym this morning. Okay.
Or, not gonna lie, do you think you should consider applying to that job? So even if you're introducing an idea, maybe that's a little touchy, right? And it doesn't have to be about a huge thing. I mean, not gonna lie, this dress is not fitting me very well, right?
Yeah, I mean, basically what you're saying is I'm going to be honest here, right? I'm going to be totally upfront with you and tell the truth. Yeah, yes, tell the truth.
Yeah, so that's a fun one. Lindsay, do you say it, or do you kind of feel that it's a little too...
Sure, I say this sometimes. Yeah. No, I do. Absolutely still. When, occasionally when I feel like I need to be upfront, I do think, we've talked on this show before as a connection skill. We need a way to warm someone up when we're about to be very upfront and direct. Right? In American English, we do. And so this is one of the ways we do it. So I still find this useful.
Yeah. Right. Definitely. So the next one is, I believe this is how I opened the episode. I asked you, have you ever caught someone in a lie? So what does that mean? To catch someone in a lie.
In a lie just means you notice that they're lying. You realize that they've lied or are lying about something. It could be you realize it after. That would still qualify for I caught them in a lie. It doesn't have to be in that moment. Right. But sometimes it is in that moment. There's a lot. I feel like you always read some pseudoscience about how people will move their eyes to the corners, like right, left when they're lying, or with lie detectors, right? I'm not sure whether those work or not, but your pulse increases. All these things that pseudoscience says we can tell if someone's lying. Yeah, who knows if it's true?
Who knows? But so you might say she caught her boyfriend in a lie when he said he wasn't proposing for another month. She found the ring.
Ooh. Or if I catch you in a lie, I'll never trust you again. Yeah, that's really hard, when someone lies early on in a relationship, how do you trust them again? It's a good question.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's very hard. It can either never happen, or it can take a very long time. Like, a lot of healing needs to happen.
Absolutely. All right. There's other ways that we say this, or other things we can say related to lie. These don't all mean the same thing, just to make it clear, guys.
Yes.
Just different expressions having to do with lying, because it's definitely, I guess many people have the value not to lie. Not everyone has the value, right? Values aren't always universal, but many people do.
Yeah.
Lie through your teeth. Ooh. Okay. Tell me about this.
Yeah, this is a lying in a big way, maybe, just a big lie. So you could say, I think she was lying through her teeth. There's no way she met Beyonce.
Yeah. Or, oh, come on, you're lying through your teeth. I saw you drop that on the floor. So it's a way of like calling someone out. Yes. I see that you're lying. You're saying this ridiculous thing, but you're actually lying.
Right. And I wanted to point out something about the word lie and lying. Are they spelled in the same way? Is it, how do you spell lying?
Good question. Did you research? This one's hard. So this is, as a native speaker of English and even a teacher of English, this is one that I research sometimes before I write it in a text message. But we see, based on our prep today, that the verb is lie, and the ing form, the progressive form, is lying, right? Yes. That can be a tricky one.
Yes, exactly. So, and the next one is to lie to someone's face. So, just how it sounds. I mean, you lie right in front of someone.
Right. As opposed to, there are other ways of lying, which would be maybe starting rumors where you're not talking directly to someone. That's what this expression is highlighting. You stood there, you said a lie right in front of me. The presumption is that takes more guts, or is more jarring for people, more hurtful potentially. Right.
Yeah. Exactly. So he lied to my face and told me he didn't eat the last cookie, but I knew he did.
Oh. Or, please don't lie to my face. I know what happened. Ooh, sounds like a heated domestic argument.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Yeah. And then this one I love. This is the last one we're going to do. Lie by omission.
Yes. Yeah, this is interesting, right? Because a lie is not always what we say. Sometimes it's what we don't say. Right.
Right. So you just leave something out, an omission, right? That's a good word to learn. So it's, you're leaving something out. Like, for example, if your friend asks you how she looks and you tell her you love her earrings, right? So, and you don't think she looks good, but you're leaving that out by giving her a compliment about something else, right?
Totally. Yeah, exactly. I love that. You could say something like, it wasn't a lie, maybe a lie by omission. Yeah. Which one's your favorite here, Michelle? What do you use in your real life?
Okay, I think my favorite is lie by omission because that to me is the most interesting. What do I use most in my life? I mean, I guess I would, I would say lie to someone's face.
Yeah. I mean, luckily I don't feel like I'm around a lot of lying.
Yes, exactly. That's the good part. I don't have to use these that much, but if I'm watching TV, I might say, he's lying to her face, or right?
Yeah, totally. I mentioned before the new series that I've been watching Younger about a 40-year-old woman who couldn't get a job in publishing at 40 in New York. There's some ageism happening there for sure. So she decided just to lie and say she's 26. She got the job right away and is still working at the place. But now people are finding out, right, gradually over time. And then they're struggling dealing with how they feel about her because she's been lying. Literally, I mean, it's jarring when someone tells you they're 26 and they're actually 40.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah. I mean, it seems like it seems like, why would that be that big of a deal? But it if you get to know somebody and to find out something is just not true about them. And then you think about like the ageism, especially for women, and the challenges of someone getting a job. It's complex, actually. Really interesting. Shall we break this down into a role play? Because our listeners love role plays. Down. Here we go. We are sisters at a hotel.
All right. Here we go.
All right. Wow. I can't believe they lied to my face at the front desk and said breakfast is free when it's not.
Well, the basic breakfast is free, just not upgrades. So it was a lie by omission.
The worst kind. Not going to lie, this place is giving me a bad impression.
I get it. We caught them in a lie. Oh, I don't like when hotels mess with my breakfast. Don't mess with my breakfast.
Don't mess with Lindsay's breakfast. On today's episode of All Ears English, we learn.
Yep. I'm definitely like one of those people. I need to eat in the morning. I can't do like just a piece of bread. I don't get how that works because I am like ready to pass out by 10 a.m. if I do that.
Same. I eat a pretty big breakfast. Yeah.
Anyway, so all right, let's go through this. So we said here, you said, wow, I can't believe they lied to my face at the front desk.
Ooh.
Yes.
And then you said, well, the basic breakfast is free, just not the upgrades. So it was a lie by omission. So they left something out.
Yes. Excellent. And then you said the worst kind. So you feel passionate about that. Yes. Not gonna lie, this place is giving me a bad impression.
Yes. Yeah. And then you said, I get it. We caught them in a lie. So we're not going to necessarily say lie over and over like this. This is one of those situations. But I mean, there are different expressions. So could happen.
Yeah. Sure, absolutely. What's the takeaway today, Michelle? Why does this matter for connection?
Yeah, well, hopefully you're not lying and hopefully no one is lying to you. But there are even other ways to use these and that don't, if you're not being lied to all the time, things like not gonna lie, that's really useful. Lie by omission is really useful. They're all useful. Hopefully you don't need to use these.
Yeah. And I would also just say that lying is such a big part of like our movies, media, culture, stories we hear about on the news. It's just everywhere around us, unfortunately. And so having these phrases when you talk about what you've read in the news, what movie you saw, what TV show you're watching,
right?
That's a connection skill right there. Not just to say he lied. Don't just say that. Say something more creative.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Really good point there. I'm glad we talked about this today, guys. Tell the truth. And I'm sure, we should definitely do a follow-up episode at some point soon. Guys, hit follow. Yeah. I'm sure we'll do one about truth. Maybe we'll do the other side. So
the other side of the coin, right?
Yep.
The other side of life. I love it. All right. Good stuff, Michelle. Looking forward to that one. And we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye, Lindsay. Bye, guys.
Bye.